Hey everybody, it's a nice morning here. It's almost 40 degrees. This morning I got up and I thought, all right, I'm not going to play that damn Plants vs. Zombies game. I'm going to write in my journal. So I sat down at the table, opened up the journal, got out a nice pen to write with, and my cat plopped herself down right on top of the journal. Rather than just pick her up and put her down on the floor, because she just jumped right back up there again, I reached over and picked up my phone. And I looked at my email first, and then I got onto Twitter. And then who knows how much time had passed, 45 minutes maybe. I realized the cat wasn't on the journal anymore, and I was still on Twitter. But eventually I did pick up the pen and I started writing. And I started reflecting on this whole, business of making videos. The day before yesterday, I put up 2 videos. One was supposed to be just a really quick, no editing, sort of just throw it up there sort of thing, which ended up taking forever because reasons I won't go into. But then later in the day, I took a walk in the cemetery. I took my phone, I took video clips here and there, took a lot of still photos, and then I went back to my apartment and I downloaded this app from GoPro, which basically you can just select a whole bunch of media inside your camera and turn the app loose on it, and it will create a video for you. It'll just pick the most photogenic or cinematic elements and put them together, according to whatever mood you select. And I did this, and then I gathered some text together. So I pulled some text from the H.P. Lovecraft story Pickman's Model, and then I grabbed I used an online, I Ching reading generator, and I just grabbed a random I Ching reading. And then I took a random paragraph from a blog by John Michael Greer, and I put them all into the Burroughs, the William S. Burroughs Cut Up Method app. Or there's a website that'll do that for you. And so the app basically blends up all the text that you put into it, and then it spits it back out in just this ungainly, unsightly block of text, which I then cut and pasted into an email, and then I created some paragraph breaks pretty much at random. And then I sent the whole thing over to my tablet. I sent the email to myself, and then I opened email on the tablet. And I put that out in front of me. I set the camera up, or the phone, on a tripod so that it was pointed down at 2 blank pages in a sketchbook. And then, hit record, and I would look up at the text on the tablet screen, and then just grab words, not even phrases usually, 2 words in a sequence at most, and just start throwing stuff down on the page, basically writing this sort of nonsense poem in real time, but with elements taken from places where I wanted to grab the mood. And then I took some Story Cube dice, and also the 112-sided die from my Cthulhu die set, and I did the story dice, or the story cube method, of basically just getting these random images by rolling dice, putting them down inside the box cover for a game that's based on H.P. Lovecraft stuff called Elder Sign. And in fact, I don't show, or GoPro didn't decide to show the actual roll of the Cthulhu die, but I did, in fact, roll the Elder Sign, and that was what went in the very middle. And, I mentioned a few days ago that there was this book for creating randomly generated creatures by rolling dice, and that in so doing I would put myself into this almost mystical state of mind, definitely an altered state of consciousness. And with this video that I did, the one called A Twofold Piece, basically I was just layering random generator on top of random generator to really maximize that oracular mindset, of just of appealing to randomness to give me something. So there was the randomness of the GoPro, video creator, which was selecting imagery and putting it in order, deciding the duration of different things without any input from me. And then there was the Burroughs Cut Up method, and then there was the rolling of the dice, different types of dice. So it really worked. I really got into a very strange mindset, and all of this together led to me writing out this poem. And then, I typed it up and sent it to myself again as an email. And in the typing up, I changed it a little bit. And then once I got over to my computer again with the real keyboard, I fiddled with it some more. Basically, I tightened it up some more, and I was pretty happy with it. And then I got out the audio recorder, and I started recording the audio for this thing. And, you know, I was into this sort of H.P. Lovecraft audiobook mode with the intonation and just the vibe of it. And I ended up reading it over and over and over again. And finally I got a take that I liked, and I synced that up with the video, the sort of randomly created video with images from the cemetery and whatnot, and also some images that I had messed with in Photoshop. And there were places where the narration synced up with the randomly generated video. Like there's a line in the poem about angels, and like a second after the mention of the angels, there's a statue of an angel from the cemetery which appears in the video, but I didn't create that timing. That was just, you know, sort of random. So I was really in this state of just, you know, I was primed to see or to feel the presence of synchronicity, of uncanny, you know, sort of not coincidence, but, you know, meaning in randomness and things like that. And I was really pleased. And then, you know, I posted that at night, and then I went to bed, and I got up the next day, and there'd only been a few views, and I was like, I was disappointed. I thought that was one of my better efforts. And then I just, you know, put up this sort of random talky video like this one, where, you know, there's not a whole lot that goes into it. I don't prepare much in advance. Whatever editing is there is just sort of jump cuts for, you know, times when I kind of took a moment to clear my throat or look around or gather my thoughts. And I put that up. And the video that I did all of this, you know, random generated stuff and, you know, creativity enhancing mood setting activity, and then, you know, the writing and the rewriting and the rewriting and the recording and the re-recording, I was really pleased with that video. The one that I did after that, which was just kind of a throwaway like this one, you know, not a throwaway in the pejorative sense, but, you know, just sort of a procedural. Here I am standing in front of a camera talking, then I upload it. That one that came later has gotten more views, more likes, more comments and engagement. And the one that I thought, you know, that I'd really put a lot into, you know, the so-called heroic video, is just kind of languishing there with very few views and only a couple of comments. And so I went back and I rewatched it, like with 24 hours distance on the creation of it. And I was like, it's kind of cute, but it wasn't giving me the vibe that I was getting, you know, the day that I made it. Like right after I created it and I uploaded it, I watched it like 3 or 4 times in a row. I just really enjoyed it. I was really into it. And, you know, with 24 hours distance on it, I was like, this is, you know, this is okay. It's not great. I can understand why it hasn't caught fire, why people aren't, you know, really responding to it. And then I remembered years and years ago, like 25 years ago, I would take acid and I'd be out with my friends and I'd get into these really, you know, twisted, altered, different states of consciousness, and I'd bust out a sketchbook and I'd start drawing, and it would feel as if something was drawing through me, as if some force, some entity, some intention was being channeled through my brain and body, through my hand, through the pen or marker or whatever I was drawing with, onto the page. It was very much like a sort of channeled experience. But then, you know, I would look at these things later on, and they all pretty much look the same. I mean, basically I just move on to any new open, clear space on the page and start drawing foreground objects again, and they kind of overlap, and it just sort of flattens out, and it all kind of looks the same, you know? So a few days later, the experience that I had is not really visible there on the page. And I think the lesson that I'm drawing from all of this is that the state of mind that you cultivate with these practices is the reward unto itself. That the creative product that flows out of that isn't necessarily any better and could well be, you know, subpar compared to things that you create just procedurally. Just, you know, you've got some skills that you have cultivated over time, you have got a time that you have set aside to create a product, and you adhere to a schedule, you put that thing out every day, and every now and again you end up with a Casablanca. You know, Casablanca is a classic film, but it was very much a studio film. It was very much a cookie cutter sort of production. You know, the studio was putting out films like this, just one after another, and just on this particular iteration of that process, it all came together and gelled into a classic. That's going to happen if you create regularly on a schedule, you know, and then you share it with people. Eventually, you're going to hit that classic combination. And the time when you're feeling super inspired, and the time when it's like the gods are speaking through you to create this product, it's often nothing special. What was special was the experience of feeling as if you were being, you were serving as the instrument of some otherworldly intent, or some super egoic intent, or some transpersonal agency working through your body. The thing that you make in that state of mind is not the treasure. It's the experience. It is, the process of feeling as if you are connected. The thing that you scribble down on the page afterwards or during, or the words that you speak into the recorder or into the camera, you might have some use for it. People might respond to it, they might resonate with it, they might not. It's really not the point. Anyway, that is all for this video. I will put up another one tomorrow. Stay well.